Where are we going next? I ask while snuggling into Ryder's chest. His arms wrap around me a little tighter. It's a surprise. I hate surprises. So, are you ready to meet the pack? Ryder asks, ignoring my last statement. I guess, but I'm a little nervous. There's no reason to be nervous. Everyone will love you. I sigh and close my eyes and rest my head against his chest. Hearing his heartbeat soothes my wolf in me. We walk for a few more minutes before I hear the sound of laughter and screams. I instantly open my eyes and look around me. My eyes widen when I see the fair that's in front of us. Ryder slowly puts me on the ground, but he makes sure to put his arm around my waist and pulls me really close to him. I've never been to a fair before, I say honestly. I'm sure my eyes are sparking, and my smile is literally half the size of my face. Ryder takes one look at my face, and he gives me a heartwarming smile. So you like your surprise? I absolutely love it. Come on, let's go on some rides, I say while tugging on his arm. He chuckles, but allows me to pull him behind me. We've been on a lot of rides, and we've eaten a lot of fair food. The food was really good, but it was also really unhealthy. Thank God I'm a werewolf and I have a high metabolism. Anyways, now we are playing some games that are obviously rigged. Ryder doesn't seem to care how much money he has spent since I'm having such a great time. I hope I'm not costing him too much. Can you win me a stuffed animal? I ask Ryder with a pout. I've tried this game 2 times, and I've failed both times. I really want that stuffed monkey. You want a stuffed animal? Ryder questions. After I nod my head, his face turns into one of complete determination, and he looks so adorable. The goal of the game is to hit down all the bottles. Obviously, werewolves have an advantage since we are stronger and have better sight. But the game is rigged, so at least one of the bottles is still standing up. Ryder knows this, though, so he uses just enough werewolf strength to knock down that one bottle that won't go down. I almost want to laugh at the person's face who is running the booth. They look so shocked, and their jaw is hanging on the ground. While he's handing us the purple monkey, he looks at us suspiciously. We give him smiles before we leave. We are walking to the front of the carnival since I'm feeling pretty tired. I keep yawning and rubbing my eyes. It's about 6:30 now, and Ryder says I have one last surprise. He picks me up and starts carrying me towards his house. Once we get to his house, he puts me down and opens the door. We walk in together, and I feel Ryder pulling me somewhere. All the lights in the house are off, but I can still see pretty well because of my werewolf vision. He stops in front of one door before he takes out some keys. Once he finds the right key, he opens up the door, and he walks in before me. He turns on the light, and I'm met with a room that is filled with books. The other day, you told me how much you love to read. I had some books, but I decided to expand this room into a library so you could read as much as you want. I run over to the first shelf, and I run my hands along the books. There are books that I have read, books I have wanted to read, and some that I've never even heard of. This is absolutely perfect. I love it, I say while grabbing the first book in the Hunger Games series. I've never read this book. Would you like to come read it with me? Ryder walks towards me before he picks me up and carries me to one of the chairs. He sits down with me on his lap, and we open the book and start to read. Elizabeth's POV. It's finally Friday, and I can feel my nerves increasing. Emily has been with me all day helping me get ready, but I really don't think I can do this. I'm going to be meeting my future pack members, and I want to make a really good impression. Elizabeth, please calm down. Everything will be okay. You are worrying way too much, Emily says while trying to pick a dress for me to wear. I'm sorry. I'm just not good with large crowds and stuff. Just take a few deep breaths. You were born to be a Luna. Everything will come to you naturally. I sigh and fall back onto my bed with a groan. I wish I could be calm, but all I want to do is run for the hills and never come back. Annabelle growls in my head at that. I don't actually mean that, Belle, I say with an eye roll. She can be so silly sometimes. I would never leave my mate unless I had to protect him or the pack. We still have about an hour and a half before the actual ceremony starts. I'm glad Emily already did my makeup, so now I just need to do something with my hair and pick an outfit. Instead of moaning and groaning, how about you get your hair done? I'm too tired, I whine with a small pout. Don't make me come over there and get you out of bed, Emily says with a warning tone. I instantly get out of bed. Yesterday, when I didn't want to get up, she literally picked me up, threw me over her shoulder, walked to the pool that I didn't know was here, and then threw me in. She didn't even apologize. She just smirked and said, "That's what I get for not listening." I go over to my mirror and grab a brush. As I'm coming through my hair, I start to think of what I want to do with my hair. Do you have any preferences of color for your dress? Emily asks from somewhere in my closet. No. Pick whatever color you want. As long as the dress isn't hideous, I'm fine with whatever you pick, I say in a joking tone. Emily is obsessed with fashion and clothes, and I know that she would never let me wear anything that looks awful. I have a great taste in fashion, and I've never picked anything that looks bad. She yells. She sounds a little upset. Oh, okay, my bad. I try not to laugh, but apparently I failed because the next thing I know, a pillow hit me on the back of my head. What was that for? For saying that I would pick something ugly for you to wear. Okay, I'm sorry. It won't happen again, I say with a laugh as I rub the back of my head. It better not. It's finally time for me to meet the pack. My heart is beating so fast, and I'm worried that it's going to jump out of my chest and onto the ground. There's no reason to be nervous, I mumble to myself while trying to calm down. This pack is not like my old pack. Besides, Ryder would protect me if anything happened. I smooth out my dress while admiring it. Emily did a great job picking it out, and I'm glad she was there to help me with everything. The dress I'm wearing is a plain emerald green dress with a sweetheart neckline. The dress matches my eyes, and it goes about an inch below my knees. The top part is fitted perfectly with my body shape, but the bottom flows out. For shoes, I'm wearing black flats, and I'm really happy because I can't really walk in high heels. My hair is in curls, and my makeup is pretty simple. All in all, I think I look pretty good. You look amazing, Lizzie. I'm so proud of the beautiful woman that you have become, Annabelle says to me in approval. Thank you, Belle. I hear a knock on the door, and then Ryder comes through the door. Are you ready? It's tea. He stops talking when he sees me. His jaw drops open, and I think I see some drool. His eyes are completely glazed over, and I can see he's having a hard time keeping Kadon at bay. I've never had anyone look at me like that. I know my cheeks are bright red, but I know I have a huge grin on my face as well. You look amazing, Liz. Ryder still looks like he's recovering from his state of shock. You look good too. He actually looks outstanding. His hair is combed and neat, and even though it looks good, I prefer his messy hair. He's wearing a blue shirt underneath his black jacket, and he has on khakis. He gives me a smile before he holds out his hand. I take a shaky breath in before I grab his hand. We walk downstairs in silence, and I try to collect my thoughts. I can hear people outside laughing and talking, and I know that this is it. I can totally do this. Ryder gives my hand a slight squeeze before he opens up the door. Immediately, all the sounds stop, and everyone stares at us. I swallow nervously and glance at Ryder. His face is completely serious. About a week ago, I met my mate, your Luna. Today, I want to welcome her to our pack. We will be making our way through the crowds, so just stay where you are. His voice carries over the crowd, and everyone here is watching him intently. I can see a group of kids trying to get closer so they can see me, but their parents are blocking their way. I can see the happiness on everyone's faces, and I know that if they could, they would be swarming around me and asking me questions. Ryder and I make our way towards the crowd, and I see a lot of pack members looking at us in awe. One of the parents stops paying attention for 1 second, and their child comes running towards me. Luna, Luna, I made you a card. See, I even used different colors, and I drew a picture of everyone in the pack, she says with excitement on her face. She looks around 7 or 8, and she is absolutely adorable. She's tugging on my dress and trying to show me her card. Her parents and everyone else in the pack look a little anxious at what I'm going to do, but I just smile. Ryder is watching intently, but I ignore him before I crouch down a little. I'm the same height as the girl. Thank you so much, I say as I take the card from her hand. I open it up and see that there's only about 10 people that she drew, but I guess that's close enough. This is amazing. You even used my favorite colors. Thank you so much for this gift. It's absolutely wonderful, I say with a grin. She gives me a huge smile before she launches herself at me. I laugh quietly before giving her a hug and a squeeze. I look up and see that everyone is looking at me with admiration, and Ryder looks extremely proud. I blush a little before I notice a swarm of kids in front of me with various presents in their small hands. I've been making my way around trying to talk to everyone I can. Ryder has introduced me to a lot of people, but there's still so many more people. I learned that the little girl who gave me the card earlier is 7, and her name is Abigail. She hasn't left my side since the party started. Her parents, Dan and Jessica, are so sweet, and I can tell that I'm going to be great friends with them. I've played some games with the kids, and it has been so much fun. I've never felt so welcomed and loved. Some more great news is that Jake has met his mate. Her name is Claire, and she is so adorable. She's really loud and outgoing, but she's not overbearing. They are so cute together, and I'm so happy for him. The party has been going on for about 4 hours, and now it's 9:30 p.m. A lot of the kids are starting to get tired, so we decide to wrap up the party. For those who I didn't meet, I can always meet them some other time. I'm so glad that I got to meet so many people today. The rumors about this pack aren't true. Well, most of them aren't true. You did so well today. I'm so proud of you, Liz. Ryder says with a smile on his face, "This pack is absolutely wonderful. I don't know why I was so scared at first. It's a normal thing, but you fit right in with the pack. Everyone loves you, and the children adore you. I'm so glad that today went well." Me too. Ryder and I head up to our room, but I can't sleep. I'm so happy that everything went well today and that the pack accepts me. Also, playing with the kids was the most fun I've ever had, except for my first date with Ryder. They are all so adorable and lovable. I'm finally falling asleep when I hear a blood-curdling scream. Elizabeth's POV. After the scream, everything went into chaos. Ryder and I quickly got out of bed, and we went outside to see what was happening. For some strange reason, I feel something pulling me towards whatever is outside. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. A lot of pack members started coming out of their houses. Some even came out with weapons. Outside, I see a group of rogues holding a terrified-looking Abigail. Dan and Jessica look terrified as well, and Jessica is crying softly. How did the rogues get her? That's when I smell something else. Vampires. Werewolves and vampires don't really hate each other as much as we used to. We've all sort of bonded to make sure that our races aren't wiped out by the hunters and such. The vampires come forward, and I see Ryder's face turn into something of recognition and confusion. He knows them? What's going on? Neither the Rouges nor the vampires are attacking. In fact, the rogues let Abigail go, and she quickly runs to her parents. Alpha Ryder and members of the Blood Falls pack, we're sorry that we scared you. That was not our intention. This pup saw one of the rogues, and she came out to see what it was. We did not mean to frighten her, and we were not going to hurt her. We would have come during the daytime, but you know how we react to sunlight, the biggest vampire says. Why are you on my land? Ryder asks while moving in front of me to protect me. We are here as a warning. The Alpha of the Crescent Falls pack is trying to gather up an army to destroy your pack. They contacted us recently asking us for help, but we refused. After all, you are the one who saved my daughter from that pack. The vampire replies before he looks at me with a nervous look. Okay, now I'm even more confused. Ryder looks at me too, before he looks at the vampire again. That's why you look so familiar, he mumbles to himself before looking between the vampire and me. I frown slightly in confusion. That's when I actually get a good look at the vampire. I look just like him. How is that even possible? The only difference is that I have green eyes and he has brown eyes. I know you are confused, child, and you will know everything soon, but right now we need to focus on taking down the Crescent Falls pack. I do. Are you saying that you're my dad? I ask. My voice is barely above a whisper, but I know he heard me. He glances at me with a small, sad smile before he nods his head. Everyone in the clearing freezes. I know that I have a lot of explaining to do, but just know that your mother and I never intended for you to be taken away from us. We have always loved you. So I'm a hybrid. My dad is a vampire, so my mom must be a wolf. I'm confused, But at the same time, some things make sense. I have never felt a connection to my parents, but I thought that was just because they didn't like me. I didn't even realize that they weren't actually my parents. Does that make me a terrible person? We looked similar enough, so that's probably why I've never noticed. Did everyone in my old pack know this? And was this another reason why they hated me? Another thing that makes sense is the fact that my wolf is smaller than the average female wolf. I thought it was just because I wasn't allowed to shift as often, but I guess I now know why. How is this even possible? A familiar voice asks. I turn and see Jake is standing next to me while looking between the vampire and me with a frown. There are a lot of things that we need to explain, but not now, not in front of all these people. One of the female rogues says as she goes to stand next to the vampire. She has striking green eyes that look so much like mine. He smiles at her before taking her hand in his. She must be my mother. This day is getting more and more complicated. The pack members sense that this is a private discussion, so they all head back into their homes. Only Jake, Ryder, and I are still outside with my parents. The other rogues and vampires walked away as well, with some of the pack warriors following them. What's going on? Jake asks for all of us. Well, first off, my name is Victor, and this is my mate Cassandra. As you know, Elizabeth is our daughter. How is that even possible? I remember when my mom was pregnant with her. I was outside her room when she gave birth. I even held her after she was born. How is she your daughter? When your actual baby sister was born, she was very sick. She was only alive for about an hour before she passed away at the hospital. When you parents saw this, they switched your actual sister with my daughter. Elizabeth and your sister were right next to each other in the children's hospital room. My mom starts off. I can see her eyes glazing over slightly, and I realize that she's probably remembering that day. After I gave birth, Victor and I wanted to see you, Elizabeth, but we couldn't because I was in too much pain. Victor and I had to wait until after I got some pain medication and after the doctors said that you were okay. I remember being so frustrated. I never even got to hold you before you were taken away from me, my mom says, with a bitter laugh at the end. She takes a deep breath before she continues talking. It is very rare for vampires and wolves to be mates, and it is even more rare for them to have children. There were some complications with my pregnancy, but there was nothing wrong with you, Elizabeth. So if you knew that I was your daughter, why am I just meeting you now? I ask with a small voice. It wasn't our choice. Once we realized that you had been stolen from us, we were going to go find you, but we couldn't. We both had a dream, and the moon goddess came to us and told us that she had a specific plan for your life and that we couldn't interfere. You have no clue how many times we wanted to help you or protect you from the violence that you had to endure as a child, my mom says in a thick voice with her eyes filled with unshed tears. I'm quiet for a few minutes while I stare at my actual parents. What am I supposed to say? My entire life has been a lie. I don't know if I should be happy or mad. Ryder starts rubbing circles on my back, and it helps me calm down and think. It's not their fault that I was taken as a baby. It's not their fault that they couldn't help me. I'm sure that if they could have helped me, they would have. The fact that I now know that they are my parents makes a lot of sense, though. It explains why Jake's parents never really loved me. I was just a replacement for their dead daughter. Also, I now know why my wolf was always smaller than everyone else's, and why I can't be out in the sun for too long. Sure, I could be outside for way longer than normal vampires, but after a while, my skin would start feeling irritated. Also, now I know why my skin isn't as tan as normal werewolves, and why I wasn't as warm as other ones. So have you guys been watching over me all this time? Yes, whenever we could, we would come check up on you, my dad says with a nod. It's actually kind of scary how much we look alike. And you guys really did want me? Of course we wanted you, my mom says with her bottom lip trembling. My dad instantly wraps his arms around my mom and rubs her back. Ah, they are so cute. Okay, one more question. Ask us anything you want, Elizabeth, and we will answer, my dad says with a firm nod. Can I call you Mom and Dad, or is it too soon for that? It takes a moment for them to realize what I just said, but as soon as they do, they pull me in for a group hug. We spend some time talking and catching up before everyone starts yawning. All right, everyone is tired and it's getting late, so why don't we all get to bed? You guys can stay in my house. The other people that came with my parents walk over to us and we head inside. Jake and his mate go over to their cabin after wishing us good night. Ryder and I show everyone the guest rooms and make sure that they have everything before we head to bed. Elizabeth's POV. I never imagined that my life would change so much. If someone would have told me a few months ago that I was going to get a second mate, become a Luna of a pack, be accepted into a pack with open arms, or that I would meet parents that actually cared for me, I probably would have rolled my eyes and ignored them. I can't believe everything that has happened in my life and how everything is finally falling into the right places. Well, almost everything. I'm not surprised, though, since Zach has made it his mission in life to make me miserable. Every time I've tried to be happy, he ruins everything. He won't ruin our happiness this time. Ryder and Kadon will not let him, Annabelle says with a sigh of happiness. It's nice to have other people willing to protect you other than your brother. Everyone has always alienated me, so being accepted into this pack has been such a wonderful experience. Everyone here has been so kind, and they've gone out of their way to make sure I'm happy. The women will include me in their activities, and the children are absolutely wonderful. There's never a dull moment for me in this pack. Just the other day, some of the women in the pack were teaching me how to make different foods, and they told me some funny stories about the children or when they met their mate. Abigail has basically been attached to my hip since I first met her, and I wouldn't have it any other way. I absolutely adore her. I've also met Chris, Ryder's third in command, and his mate. Chris is very outgoing and energetic, but his mate, Macy, is kind of shy, like me. We get along very well, and she's an absolute sweetheart. Brian and Emily's daughters, Ashley and Anna, are troublemakers, but they are too cute to stay mad at. They are always pulling pranks and making messes, but they can be very mature and wise at times. It's been a week since my parents got here, and so far, everything has been calm. The calm before the storm, Annabelle says. I agree with her. I don't know what Zach is planning, but I know that it's going to be something big. He's trying to gather as much support as he possibly can, but luckily, no one wants to help him fight this pack. This is one of those times when I'm thankful that this pack has a reputation that people are afraid of. For now, it's giving us time to prepare for Zach's attack. The pack is doing a little more training than usual to make sure everyone is ready for anything that may happen. The rogues and vampires that came with my mom and dad are still here. In fact, they have all joined this pack. Lately, we have been trying to come up with a plan so we have an insider to give us information on Zach's pack. If we send some spies to the pack, there is a huge risk of them being killed. I'm actually the only one who thinks that. Everyone else knows that they will be fine, but I don't want to take that risk. It's bad enough that this pack has to sacrifice themselves for me in case anything happens. I don't want to send people directly to their death. Everyone is underestimating Zach, and that's not a good thing. I know he will do something completely unexpected, and then we'll be in trouble. Something tells me that he's going to do whatever it takes to take this pack down, and I'm pretty sure he has a few dirty tricks up his sleeves. The pack fighters and warriors there are actually really good, since my brother played a part in training them. The atmosphere in this room is tense and silent. We want to make sure that we don't lose anyone from this pack, but that might not be possible, and that's what worries me the most. The meeting is at a standstill. There's not one plan that everyone is willing to follow. We've been here for 5 hours, and we still don't have anything. There's always a flaw in each plan that has been said, and I can tell that it's having a negative impact on everyone here. I've tried to not let my feelings get in the way because everyone has reminded me so many times that they would do anything to protect me. I try to ignore my anxiety, but if there is a plan that I feel will backfire horribly, then I speak up. Elizabeth, maybe this meeting is a little too much for you. I know you want to help, but we really need to make a plan right now. We can't keep rejecting all these ideas, Jake says to me through our mind link. I look up and see him giving me a sad smile. I don't want anyone to die because of me. Everyone in here knows that their life is in danger, but they are willing to protect you no matter what. I know, but that doesn't make me feel any better. Do you want to step out for a bit, and then I'll tell you when we come up with a solution? No. I stay quiet and listen as the fighters start talking amongst themselves, trying to think of something. Jake is right. This meeting is a little too much for me, but I don't want to leave. I just won't say anything anymore. I'm sure everyone here knows what they are doing, and I should stop doubting them. This is for my protection, and I need to accept it. I know that Zach was probably going to try and attack this pack sooner or later, but I know the fact that I'm here has made him want to attack even more. He's always been power hungry, but now I think he's even more determined to do this just to hurt me even more. Okay, everyone in here is tired, and we're not getting anywhere right now, so we're going to have a 2-hour break. I expect everyone to be in their seats in exactly 2 hours, Ryder announces with a loud voice. People get up and stretch before leaving. I stay rooted in my seat, lost in my thoughts. Are you okay, sweetheart? Ryder asks me in a soft voice once everyone has left. I sigh before shrugging. I'm scared. I don't know what Zach is planning, but I know that it won't be good. I don't want anyone to get hurt, especially by the hands of the Crescent Falls pack. I mumble with a small frown on my face. Ryder pulls me from my chair and settles me on his lap. Everything's going to be all right. I won't let anyone hurt you. Any of my pack members are trained for anything that happens. It is their job to protect you, Ryder says while running his large hand up and down my back. I feel some of my worry slip away, and I snuggle into his warm chest a little more. I wish there was a way where we could get information without the risks being too high. I wish we had already had a source on the inside that would help us. We sit in silence for a few minutes before I get an idea. Jake's parents don't know that he left with me. If they had known, they would have never let him leave. He only told his parents that he was leaving the pack so he could find his mate, which is partially true. If Jake calls them, he might be able to find out information from them. They won't know that they are helping out, and this can limit the amount of casualties that happen. I immediately jump up from Ryder's lap and start running towards the door, which causes Ryder to growl and start chasing me. It doesn't take long before his strong arms wrap themselves around my waist and I'm pushed up against a wall. Where do you think you're going, little mate? I look at Ryder's eyes and see they are pitch black. I should have known Kadon wouldn't like my actions. Ever since we've heard about the planned attack, Ryder hasn't let me out of his sight. I can't be more than an arm's length away from him before he starts freaking out. I just need to go talk to Jake, Kadon. I don't think I should let you go. I'm rather fond of this position, Kadon says with a slight smirk. I give him a confused look before I see the position we are in. Our chests are touching, and his face is centimeters away from mine. Annabelle is purring in my head and trying to claw her way out of my mind. I know my eyes are turning darker, and I can feel desire bubbling up from the bottom of my stomach. His warm, minty breath fans over my face, and all I want to do is kiss him senseless. He moves his face a little closer, and I can feel my heartbeat pounding against my ribcage. This is it, my first kiss. No one's around to stop us. Our lips are basically touching at this point, and I feel like my poor heart is going to jump out of my chest. Relax, love, Kadon mumbles before pressing his lips against mine. I feel like I'm flying, and my body is humming in response. My entire body is tingling, and I feel a little lightheaded. I don't know how long Ryder and I have been kissing, but I do know that my lungs will probably collapse if I don't breathe soon. I pull away from Ryder, but he just starts kissing down my neck. I let out a few moans, but I'm too turned on to be embarrassed. He gets to the place where my neck and shoulder meet, and I let out another moan. Can I mark you? Ryder asks softly while breathing in my scent. It takes me a minute to register what he's saying, but as soon as my brain catches up, I nod my head and give a barely audible yes. I feel something sharp poke my neck, and then suddenly Ryder bites down on my neck. At first, I feel a sharp pain, but after a few seconds, I feel pleasure coursing through my veins. I feel like I've died and gone to heaven. Wow, this is absolutely amazing. I wish I could feel like this every day. I'm so glad Ryder is holding on to me because my knees feel really weak and my entire body is shaking. Ryder takes his teeth from my neck and licks his mark. I moan again and I feel my eyes start to close. So tired, just need to take a little nap. Sleep, love. You're tired, Ryder says as he wraps his arms around me and picks me up bridal style. What does it look like? I mumble into his chest. It's a picture of our wolves next to each other. Sounds beautiful. I can't wait to see it. By this time, I'm almost completely asleep, and I'm vaguely aware of the sound of a door opening and closing. A few seconds later, I feel myself being lowered onto a soft surface. I feel like I'm being lowered onto a cloud. Don't judge me. I'm still on a high from Ryder's kiss and his mark. My body finally starts to crash, and I let the darkness take over. Elizabeth's POV. The next morning when I wake up, I feel a slight ache on my neck. I put my fingers on my neck and gasp when I feel a jolt of pain. A small smile makes its way on my face in spite of the pain. I'm finally a marked wolf, and I couldn't be happier. I try to get out of bed so I can go look in a mirror, but a strong arm is holding me to the bed. I glance over at Ryder's sleeping form, and I feel a soft smile come onto my lips. Ryder's hair is all messed up, and his mouth is slightly parted. Soft snores escape his mouth, and he unconsciously moves me closer to him. He looks so innocent and content. The slight smile on his face melts my heart, and I feel my lips tug up into a smile too. My eyes travel down to his naked chest, and I run my hands along his broad chest slowly. Annabelle purrs happily in my head and gushes about how amazing Ryder looks in the morning. I continue to admire his form for a few minutes before I remember the mark on my neck. I try to pry his hands off my waist, but he just tightens his grip with a soft frown on his face. I giggle softly before I poke his nose. His face scrunches up, and it makes him look so adorable. I continue to poke his nose until he grabs my hand and laces our fingers together. "Why were you poking my nose?" Ryder asks without opening his eyes. "I wanted to get up so I could go see my mark," I say with a slight pout. "Well, why don't you?" Ryder says with a slight smirk. "Your arm is too heavy for me to move," I respond, my pout still in place. He chuckles slightly and gives me a quick kiss on the lips before he rolls over and gets out of bed. He reaches over and pulls me up from the bed and starts heading towards the bathroom. I follow behind him while bouncing up and down. I can't wait to see my mark for myself. "Wait a minute, what about the meeting? Did you guys finish the meeting?" Ryder shakes his head at my question. "No, we decided to wait until today to finish it. I couldn't leave you alone after I had just finished marking you." I nod my head before I open the bathroom door and rush over to the mirror. I ignore my messed up hair and the slight bags underneath my eyes. I have never been a morning person, so I'm not surprised by my horrid looks. I am surprised Ryder didn't scream. I guess that comes with the territory of being mates. You don't point out their flaws. I pull my shirt to one side and lean in towards the mirror. I purse my lips and stare intently at the mark that looks almost like a tattoo. My mark is just like what Ryder described. Our wolves are sitting next to each other with their tails joined together. I stand there for a few minutes just staring at my mark. It's absolutely beautiful. Ryder comes up behind me and wraps his arms around my waist. He pulls me against his solid chest, and I melt into his embrace. The tingles on my skin spread around, and my heart is beating like an African drum. We stand in the bathroom in pure silence. The silence isn't awkward, it's peaceful, and I feel completely relaxed. I start thinking about the meeting, and my eyes widen with shock. "I need to go talk to Jake," I say while tugging on Ryder's arms. "Why?" "I think I have a plan that will help prepare us for the attack." Ryder sighs before letting me go. "It's only 6 in the morning right now, so how about you take a shower, and in about an hour or so, we'll finish the meeting." I nod my head in agreement with Ryder's statement, and he leaves the bathroom while closing the door behind him. After my shower, I wrap a towel around my body and walk into the bedroom. Ryder isn't here, but I can still smell his scent, so that means he was in here a little while ago. I walk over to the closet before I grab some clothes and quickly get dressed. After I have all my clothes on, I head downstairs. When I get to the kitchen, a few pack members give me tired smiles. It's mostly teens that have to go to school, and I feel bad for them. Waking up this early isn't exactly fun, but I always had to, or else I would get punished. More and more pack members start showing up at the table, and we eat breakfast. After breakfast is finished, everyone goes to their respectable places. The kids go to school, some pack members head out for work, and the rest go back to the meeting room. I hope today isn't as long or bad as yesterday's meeting. I hope my plan isn't stupid or anything. Once everyone is seated, we immediately get down to business. Ryder gives me a look, and I nod my head with a shaky breath. I can do this, and I know Ryder will back me up. Jake, I have a plan involving you. As soon as the words left my lips, Jake moves to the edge of his seat, and he stares at me intently. You were a pack warrior, so you know the different techniques the Crescent Falls pack uses. Also, your parents will probably be helping Zach a lot. I need you to call your parents and ask them what's going on. Since they don't know that you are in this pack, they won't be too suspicious. You can say that you're in a pack that was asked to help. This is a way so no one has to get hurt. Jake's parents trust him, and they will give him the information. I say before glancing around the room to see everyone's reaction. That's a great idea. I could even go back and visit and see for myself what's happening. It's a good thing no one knows that I'm here, Jake says with a nod. So you'll do it? I ask Jake while holding my breath. Of course I will. By blood or not, you're my baby sister. I would do anything to help keep you safe. I give him a grateful smile and relax into my chair. Ryder takes my hand in his and gives me a proud smile. I can't help but beam back at him. The meeting continues, and we start making preparations for this to happen. Zach's POV. Chelsea, get over here right now. I scream. A few seconds later, Chelsea runs into the room, and her eyes are wide, and I can see the fear in them. I smirk a little at her fear. Yes, Alpha? Where's my sandwich? I ask in a bored tone. I was finishing the laundry, and I forgot. I'm sorry. Chelsea answers while looking at the ground and playing with the edge of her shirt. Well, what are you waiting for? Go make my food, I say, my voice raising at the end. She is about to leave when I remember something. Oh, and Chelsea. Yes, Alpha? Make sure you're waiting in my room tonight. We're going to have a little fun, I say with a smirk on my face. Chelsea's face pales, and she quickly runs out of the room. Gosh, she's such a slut. Anyways, my plan to get Elizabeth back and kill Ryder is in motion. I've asked some packs and rogues for help, but most of them have turned me down. I don't know why everyone is so scared of the Blood Falls pack. They are so pathetic. Even more so now since they have Elizabeth as their Luna. She shouldn't be over there. She should be here with me. She's probably messing everything up over there because that's the only thing she's good at. Screwing things up. I don't even know why I'm going out of my mind. All I know is that I have to get her back. It's not because I want her here. It's just because she doesn't deserve to be happy. She killed my mother, so she doesn't deserve anything good to happen to her. She should be suffering, and even then, that's too nice. She doesn't even deserve to be alive. I should have killed her when I had the chance. Too bad my wolf didn't let me. He kept going on and on about her being our mate and how we shouldn't treat her so poorly. After being ignored for the past few years, my wolf just stopped trying. He knew that his pleas weren't going to get me to stop, so he just stopped communicating with me. He barely talks to me, but that's okay. I don't mind. He was too kind, and he was always saying stupid stuff. Packs and mates need to be ruled with an iron fist. If someone does something out of line, you need to punish them so they know that they should never do that again. It sets an example for the pack and the packs around us. They start to respect you more, and life gets easier. I don't understand why some alphas treat their pack so kindly. They basically let their pack walk all over them. That's what my dad did, and I will not make the same mistakes that he did. This is why this pack has a bad reputation, because of his stupidity. Anyways, I'm training everyone in this pack so they can help us with this war. I'm going to need everyone I can get to help take down Ryder. I don't want to kill every pack member of the Blood Falls pack. I just want to kill Ryder so I can take over his pack. I also want to kill him because in the unlikely event that Ryder is actually Elizabeth's mate, she will feel pain, and she will remember what happens when someone disobeys me. I can't wait to get my hands on him so I can kill him. I'm going to make sure that he dies a slow, painful death. I don't see why he is so well respected. I bet the rumors about him aren't even true. I refuse to believe that he is that strong or powerful. Once I take him out, people will fear me and they will take me seriously. After Ryder is gone, I will move on to the Alpha King. Once I kill the Alpha King, I will be known as the greatest werewolf of all time. I deserve to be praised for my strength, courage, and leadership. Ryder doesn't deserve all the praise he gets. Even the Alpha King fears him, since apparently Ryder is stronger than him. I think that's a lie, but whatever. Once I kill Ryder and take over his pack, I'll take Elizabeth back, and I'll punish her for her actions. I can't believe she left. Her place in life is here, as my slave. At least she didn't complain as much as Chelsea. Since Elizabeth left, a lot of things in this pack have failed, and that just won't do. I will get her back if that's the last thing I do. Elizabeth's POV. It's been a few days since the meeting, and we're putting our plan into effect today. I'm really nervous right now, and I have no clue why. I just want everything to be perfect, but I know that there is a high chance that that won't happen. I'm just glad that I don't have a major role in the plan because I would probably mess it up. I've never been good at lying or concealing my emotions. Jake called his parents today and asked them how they were doing, and he told them about how he met his mate. He even had a nice long chat with them about the plans for the war. They were obviously excited for it, and they didn't suspect or question a thing. They were gushing about Zach's plans, but they didn't give us any concrete information. Jake's dad is a general, and he's helping Zach with some plans, and he's also helping train the pack. Now we can get very useful information, and we can always be one step ahead. I'm so thankful for everyone in this pack because they have all been so supportive, and they've done all they can to protect me. I'm glad that this pack isn't too big because everyone gets to know each other, and we're all family. I've only been here for a short amount of time, but it feels like I've been here forever. Right now, everyone is sort of relaxing and laying around. These past few days have been really intense, so I'm glad that we can finally relax a little bit. My parents and I have also gotten closer. They've told me of some of the exciting things they have done and the different places they've been to. They've traveled a lot, and they're friends with a lot of different foreign packs, so that might be useful during the war. So, Elizabeth, tell us what you like to do in your free time, my mom asks. My mom and dad are sitting on the couch across from me, and my dad has his arm around my mom's shoulder. Well, I like to read and paint, and I can play the piano and the guitar. We had a music room in my old pack, and so I would watch as some of the pack kids played their instruments. After a while, I decided to try it for myself. I loved it, so I continued to play, and I taught myself, I say with a shy smile. I didn't know that you knew how to play the piano or the guitar, Elizabeth. Why didn't you tell me? I would have gotten one of the pack members to get them for you. Ryder says while slipping onto the couch next to me and wrapping his arms around me. I snuggle into his chest, and I feel my lips tugging up into a huge grin. I look back at my parents and see them beaming at Ryder and me. I blush slightly and hide my face in Ryder's chest. It just never came up, I mumble into his chest. We can go into town later this week and buy you anything you want. You don't have to do that, I say quietly. He just rolls his eyes and pulls me onto his lap. His eyes show just how much he cares for me and how much he wants to give me anything I want. My parents stand up with knowing smiles on their faces. We'll just leave you two alone, my mom says with a smirk and a wink before they leave the room. My jaw drops and I stare at the doorway that they just walked out of. Ryder just laughs and turns me around and starts planting small kisses on my face. I quickly forget about my parents and melt into Ryder's embrace. His chest rumbles with a low growl and he pulls me even closer. He trails kisses from the top of my head down to my neck and then back up. He starts making his way towards my lips and my mark starts throbbing uncomfortably. Just as our lips are about to touch, Ryder pulls back suddenly with a look of rage on his face. Ryder, is everything okay? Rogues were found near the edge of the territory. I immediately jump up from his lap and start heading downstairs with Ryder on my heels. When we get to the basement of the pack house, we see some of our scouts who are on patrol and a few rogues. One of the rogues has a box in its hand. It's weird because I don't really feel a bad vibe coming from these rogues. Also, they're surprisingly calm despite the fact that they've been captured by the most feared pack in the world. They are either really stupid or they are really brave. I know I would be scared to death. Why are you on my land? Ryder's question was met by silence from the rogues. They didn't meet his gaze, and they didn't look like they were willing to talk. Instead, they had their head faced to the ground in submission. I give Ryder a confused glance, and I see that he's puzzled too. Rouges don't usually respect pack members, especially alphas. Usually they say snide remarks or something. I'm going to ask again. What were you doing near my pack? The rogues don't say anything, but I see a few of them swallow nervously. Honestly, I'm kind of scared too, but his alpha voice is such a turn-on, and no, I can't be thinking of that. I need to focus on the task at hand. I fight the blush that was making its way onto my face, and I make sure that my breathing is normal so I don't pass out or something. Deep breaths. Deep breaths. Why are you on my land? This is the last time I'm going to ask this question. This is the third time Ryder has asked this, and I can see his patience is running thin. The rogues remain silent, and they continue to look at the ground. I don't know why, but I don't really feel like they are a part of whatever is going on.